Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will. I'll be a storyteller this evening. And last, we left off with our Anarch group. We were missing one Nosferatu in the form of Melvin Wright. So we opened up with the group hearing about the news over the week from what Shepard has been able to gather. Chief among them, the closures and the burnings, the jazz club being turned into a Latin supper club that they found out was being bought out by Manuel Garza. Erickson called to check in on Mickey Blue Eyes and learned that the Red Eye Lounge was outside of his jurisdiction, just a little bit too far out of the city proper to be handled by his information network. But he did reveal that the jazz club used to belong to an A.M. Davies and that he would be up for dropping off the file folder that he's been working on for him at the usual spot, which is now the bus station. But they woke up to Shepard having dropped off the message at the Tower Apartments, and it turns out that Melvin and his coterie have been asked to meet at the diner named the French Onion off of State Street and 12, where they were invited to meet with Alfred Beckett. They both recognize the name from before Prince Hyde took over, as he was one of the sheriff's whips that was assigned to the north end of town. And they also remembered that he had disappeared along with the other whips after the Independence Day Elysium shook things up in the city. They arrived at the diner to see that it was mostly centralized in the middle of the old, between Old Town and the neighbors section of Salem. They didn't see anything out of the ordinary, and once Alfred showed up, the little bit of a crew that was there slipped out into the back to give them some privacy. They got to talking about how he had been meant to go to a meeting, how he had been found staked inside the wall of a pirate-themed bar by Ivory and Kathy, and how he was told to meet them at the Dance Nocturne once he kind of settled all his affairs and whatnot and figured out what was going on. But he let them know that he was supposed to meet with the other Brujah in the city, and how apparently Yvette knew that something was going to happen to Geraldine Birmingham, and she wanted the clan to stand together. But he did learn that, they did learn, rather, that Elizabeth Barrister was already part of Yvette Morrison's group, and that's who really set everybody coming together as far as the Brujah were concerned. But he revealed that he wanted to learn why the Nosferatu, and particularly Melvin, jumped ship, since Melvin was one of the sheriff's go-tos as far as the tower was concerned. He looked pretty out of sorts, given everything that he's been figuring out about the city after Hyde took over, but he did ask them about how Otis King came into enough power to create a praxis war, since when he was around, Otis was a practical nobody, and how he had lost a lot between the Dominion War that he had to deal with Marcucci and that whole event that took place in the West Salem part of the city. But they left after the discussion, and Andreas even tipped the hostess a couple of 20s for her trouble, and they ended up separating for a little bit, since Erickson wanted to follow Alfred Beckett as far as he could, even using his new ability of unseen passage to follow him until he saw him break into a car and drive off. Meanwhile, Andreas took to the rooftops to kind of make sure that they weren't being followed or anything like that, and found the headlamp of a motorcycle turned over a few streets down, saw that one of his boys had been attacked by what was a pack of wolves, one big silver wolf as an alpha to them, which he took a silver bullet to and did a lot of damage, caving in a good portion of the alpha's chest. And as Erickson and Andreas were reunited, they were pulled from the scene into a pocket space by John Coulson and Primogen Thompson, who brought them into the basement of the Vagabond, which is Thompson's bar. And Coulson tried to warn them not to lash out violently as he led them outside to see Melvin in the company of one Grant Reynolds. And this is where we're going to pick up Sans Andreas. He's going to be hanging back, kind of just keeping an eye on everything since he's a little jittery after seeing a ghost from your past. But it's good to see you, boys.
Great to see you.
So, as we bring Melvin into the scene, you had a conversation with Grant Reynolds. We discussed things off camera that you are going to be at liberty to discuss with your Brujah associate here. But just to give the viewers a little taste of what power Grant Reynolds has now, you got to see him pull out a sliver, a thin kind of piece of white cloth, beautifully elegant, looks almost velveteen in nature, but then you also got to see him cut open with his fingernail, which, you know, having protein yourself is an ability, and drawing it into some of his blood and lighting it on fire. And once the ritual was complete, he started to lead you down the streets. He licked his wound closed in front of you, and he led you to the Vagabond as you saw Coulson and Primogen Thompson about to open fire, as it were. But he held his hands up, told them that he wasn't there to fight, and even motioned to you to kind of help grease the wheels, as it were. But Coulson stepped forward towards you. You're running with Grant Reynolds now?
First of all, and I look at Grant Reynolds and I go, we're not running together. It's a mutually beneficial relationship, of which, correct me if I'm wrong, Otis was interested in as well.
This was before Mr. Reynolds, no insult intended, sir, became a piece of shit Templar for the Sabbat. And Grant shrugs. I get that a lot.
Oh, I was like, I take a step back when he said that. I was like, oh, this just in case.
This is before they pulled you.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. But Mr. Reynolds has always been fair in not slaughtering me when we meet. And he has helped in ways that are going to ultimately help Otis.
Primogen Thompson steps forward. Given my position on the Primogen Council, I cannot be seen having him enter my domain. So, where are the rest of your coterie?
I see him there, just knowing he's on the council.
Yeah, Primogen Thompson is the Tremere Primogen.
Oh.
And he's meeting with John Coulson.
Okay.
You're currently outside the Vagabond. It looks worse for wear.
Because that's kind of a big thing. Yeah. That it's like, wait, one of these folks is here? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
But you also know, because of our conversation, that Grant Reynolds cannot do anything to Primogen Thompson.
Right.
But Coulson is the one that kind of looks at you. He's like, all right, well, where's the rest of your coterie?
And I point to Erickson.
He's not there yet.
Oh, he's not there yet.
This is before they pulled them towards the meeting.
Oh, got it.
He points to a vacant space.
Oh, we're there.
Right there. And he shows up and I go, I'm a wizard. And I look at Grant Reynolds. I go, I think that's why I'm here. They should be somewhere around here.
And Grant kind of looks at you. He's like, "Yeah, I wasn't pretty particular about the one I was looking for, but I was led here to this area." And Coulson and Thompson eye each other for a moment, and then Coulson looks at you. What does he mean he was led here?
Out of character.
Mhm.
I don't know that much about blood magic, right?
You don't,
Okay, I go,
but you know it's a Tremere thing.
right. So I'm just like, well, he did some David Copperfield was around already, right?
Yeah, he
Or
was.
no?
Yeah.
Like he did some David Copperfield stuff, led me here looking for my folks.
Huh. Coulson and Thompson excuse themselves and go inside for a minute. And after a few minutes,
That went well.
they come out. And Grant looks at you while they're gone. Like, well, I appreciate that you didn't tell them about my diablerie. That would have set things off in a very difficult situation for the both of us.
It seems like that was probably the right thing to do.
They're a little uppity, don't you think? They feel uppity.
I do, but I will say they're not back yet, right?
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
me and him.
They're inside. Just you and him outside.
Perfect. I go, I will say this, Mr. Reynolds. Given what's going on there and who's there, maybe I understand your agreement, but maybe it would be more beneficial if that person was not
I mean, she didn't seem like she was high up on the totem pole, if you know what I'm saying.
no, what I sorry. What I
Hmm.
mean is Mr. Thompson.
Oh, I mean, he was with John Coulson, and
Mm-hmm.
Otis hasn't done anything wrong by me. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, the more he taxes Hyde, the better off we'll be together.
I agree. But I feel like giving too much information may just lead to a more negative situation than
Right, right.
benefiting anybody.
It's bad enough that I got Stanton on my ass about Beatrice, but she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, is all. And you have never found yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time, Mr. Wright.
And I kind of go like this, and I go, and I'm mighty grateful for that.
There's a
But
long, awkward moment, and then the door opens,
yeah,
and you see Thompson and Coulson come back out with Erickson and Andreas in tow.
ah, found them.
And Thompson looks at Coulson and he's like, all right, well, now that everyone's gathered, all of you can fuck off. I have to rebuild my bar after all. So, and the door closes and you hear 3 locks tumble into place.
Fucking. And I'm just fucking. Spark of rage. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, hey,
Thompson, Coulson looks at the group. Do you all have a ride, or should I drop you off somewhere?
I just keep staring at Melvin. I'm not even paying at this point.
I look at Grant Reynolds, and
Oh, it's a nice night. We can walk. And Coulson just kind of nods. Very well. And he goes down the street, gets into a car, and drives off.
Melvin.
Erickson.
But Grant Reynolds looks at the two of you. Oh, the biker and the senator. Good to see you're still alive.
State Center. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm still alive too.
You know, Mr. Reynolds.
Oh yeah, yes, we've met a few times. Yes.
No, let's walk and talk. And he pulls his coat close and starts walking down the street.
And I just look at Erickson and I go,
No, and yeah, I look back at you like, the fuck? Why? Of all, you know, as a state senator, I did learn some sign language, but he doesn't know. I don't think I would have taught you, so I'm not even going to use it. I'm not even going to use it. So fuck it.
The only sign language you really see is him sticking his middle finger out at you.
Yeah. All right.
But Grant Reynolds turns around and he's just like, I assure you, I mean none of you any harm. You don't have to worry about me. I don't buy unless asked.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. I say it just like that. I highly doubt that.
You've heard rumors.
May I ask? This is a very given Andreas and my night so far. This is actually not the most peculiar thing to have happened in our night so far. But I have to ask. Why are we here?
I came looking for Melvin and his coterie, and now that I've found the group, I've approached Mr. Wright about a task that I require your assistance with, that your group is pleasantly in the right place at the right time to accomplish for me. I've given him a sliding scale of I don't want to say demands, because Mr. Wright, I haven't demanded anything of you, honestly. But they are, let's call it a sliding scale of gifts, as it were.
Yes.
I'm at the point now where all I really have in front of me, between me and Hyde, is his Ventru Primogen. Your group is clandestinely positioned in a point where you can make that happen for me. So I've come asking Mr. Wright if he can make that happen for me.
And
he's chosen to broach it with the whole group, as it were. So that's why we came to find you.
It was a big task. I wasn't going to make a decision on behalf of the rest of us.
So my cards are on the table. Now I ask you to reveal what you're playing with.
Cards on. Look, I know I haven't been in the circuit for a while, but I feel like I'm being shortchanged with the information that's given to us. What is it that you and Melvin talked about as far as these gifts?
Well, I simply approached Mr. Wright with my my task at hand is to remove the Ventru Primogen from their current position of power, so that the only ones left to Prince Hyde would be his gangrel, not the gangrel, because nobody really counts the gangrel, Mr. Shepard, but that would leave Mr. Thompson, who unfortunately has already been claimed by somebody else in my circle, and Wesley Ian Garter, who I would never dream of taking away from Mr. Wright. The other two Primogen, at best, could be scared away. So
I see.
It leaves the Ventru Primogen as Hyde's last real bastion of power in the city. And the next one on my list, as it were.
This would mean Anastasia.
Miss Anastasia Richards. You can see why your group is clandestinely positioned for this.
Okay.
And I haven't come empty-handed. I told Mr. Wright that I'd be happy to share some of the information that has floated into my net, as it were, with varying degrees of gift giving, depending on how invested you'd like to be in this endeavor of mine. I told him that if the minimal that I would need from your group is just to let me know about the comings and goings of Miss Richards, as far as leaving and coming back to her domain. But I also did ask that if he was so inclined, and if your group was so inclined, that if you could help me lay out a trap and help me dispose of this primogen, that I would be willing to give all the information that has found its way into my dulcet ears. Being so close to a bishop in the city, it has benefits, you understand?
Yeah. Yeah, we heard that you're working for the bishop. Yeah, I heard about that too.
He doesn't know that this is happening, by the way. So this is not a Sabbat mission. If that makes it feel any better for you.
Well, I mean, I don't know who this bishop is. I just know you're working for him.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, who am I gonna tell?
Oh, he wants to make a grand entrance at your New Year's Eve event. You'll meet him then.
So, Erickson, Anastasia's she's been, allowed us to stay in her building.
No, I know.
But the truth of the matter is the only reason she did that's because of Connie.
Mm-hmm.
She could really get, and it was a boon on behalf of Connie. Aside from that, she's just as useless as the rest of them following Hyde. Every time I've met with her and spoken with her, she's blinded to Hyde and follows him unconditionally.
No,
obviously same clan, so they have to share. Sometimes it's blindly, but she's still somebody in power that's standing between us and him.
Look, I have, and I look in my pockets. I have 0 fucks to give when it comes to her. So that's not what I'm a little apprehensive about. I'm just curious, and I look over back at Grant Reynolds. Just curious, since this is something that you're just bringing up. If I happen to say "fuck off,"
no harm, no foul.
You must have some really good information. If you're really, you must be desperate. If you're coming to somebody like me.
I have the information that, given my age and my time in this war, gives me the leverage to employ people of your caliber. You have, as I have said, a key position in getting me as close as possible to dealing with Anastasia Richards. But I also have information that could be of great use to your crew, to your coterie.
I mean, what kind of information do you really think that we're looking for?
I mean, there's so much. I know.
So much. By all means, just
I mean, I don't want to give anything away for free, Mr. Wood. You understand? But I can tell you about Tucker White. I can tell you that you were not, and he looks at Melvin. You were not the first that I used that new ritual on to find. I've found many interesting spots in the city that I think would behoove being shared with the right people.
I look over at Andreas. I'm like, Andreas, do you mind? And I don't mean to be rude whatsoever, Grant. I just need, if you allow me just a moment to speak
Sure.
with Melvin regarding this.
Yeah, and he steps aside, steps down the street, opposite side of the street.
I walk over to him.
Yeah. What the fuck? It's you. Okay. What did he tell you? What did he do to make you be like, yeah, sure, let's just deal with this? Like, I don't give a fuck about Anastasia Richards. I really don't. But we know what. Do you know what Grant Reynolds' endgame is?
Probably the same thing that Otis wants. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, there's two names that I'm concerned with, and it's Garter and it's Hyde. Grant Reynolds and his people, as evil as they are, they haven't done to me what those two pieces of shit have done to me. I've lost everything because of them.
Real quick, out of character, Will, he brought up a name.
Tucker?
I forgot. Yeah. Who is this? Does that name ring a bell to me at all?
Which name?
You said Tucker or something.
Oh yeah, Tucker White.
Tucker White.
I think that's the name you told me when we spoke that I didn't know them.
No,
Right?
Tucker White is the Simitsi that turned your daughter.
Turned my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
That's right.
He's the guy that runs with the other Sabbat pack.
There's 3 people on my list.
You're
correct.
Funny how things change.
3 people on my list.
I have a list.
White.
Fuck ass White. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look.
If it wasn't for the fact that the only reason Anastasia's given us any kind of wiggle room is because of the fact that she had that boon with Connie.
Yeah.
We'd probably be dead. We have a means to get inside. We have a means to do what we need to do information-wise.
Yeah.
We want to delve a little more. We can set up a trap. Help with a trap. We don't have to do the killing blow. He never said we had to do the killing blow. He just said to help him set it up. We don't even have to be there when it fucking happens. I can play that game too. We're gonna go into semantics. We don't even have to be anywhere near where it happens. And I think you still have boons with her, don't you?
I mean, I honestly think that Grant Reynolds somehow knew this.
He knows a lot.
Yeah. Does he know who killed Elizabeth Guernsey? Because that would also be interesting information he should know.
Well, I don't think he does, but that might be something you want to bring up to him.
Yeah. I don't know. He might kill me. Let's see what happens. But yeah, look, if you want, if you...
Oh, wait, I don't know that you killed her. You never told me that you killed her.
You didn't kill her.
No,
So
I didn't.
Saying that completely.
No, but I know who killed her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like,
right.
I know. And
So when I say that to you, it's just very, like I'm just saying it just in general. I'm like, well, maybe he'll know that and want that information. Who knows? Like not knowing.
No, I would have been really fucked up if it was me. All of a sudden, it's just I killed her. Just
It was me. I did it.
I did it
Hey,
this
look,
whole
man,
time.
I want to come clean about Elizabeth Guernsey. What do you know about Elizabeth Guernsey?
I killed that bee.
Well, look, I take out the ledger, right, that I've been holding, and I'll open up through the ledger and I take out the 2 boons and I hold that. I go, look, you know what? Considering that everybody sees you as the leader of this coterie, I would feel it would be an injustice if I did not give this to you, and I just hand you the 2 boons.
When did I become the leader?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're just
get ice
bringing.
cream?
Yeah, when the fuck did we get ice cream?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm not the one that created this whole. I'm not the one that made this whole meeting. Apparently, so far, the last 2 people that we were supposed to meet for this coterie were expecting to see you, and they were very disappointed when they only saw me and Andreas. Well, that's 1, and then 2, you just happened to out of nowhere.
That has been my
Grant
favorite.
Reynolds just,
That has been my favorite thing. Where it's just like, oh, we're here to see Melvin. Well, you got me and Andreas.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Fine.
I guess that's fine.
fine.
What would it make you
But-
feel more comfortable if we could at least partially agree at this point,
Mhm.
being an inside person since we do have access to her building, and request a show of good faith on him that he's going to relay the more pertinent information. Tucker White is low on the totem pole for him.
Mhm.
Maybe if he shares that information, we'll at least promise to be his eyes in there. And if we decide come up with an idea for the next step, then we can address it at that point. The better information, so to speak, as he said.
Let me ask you this: if we are going to be setting a trap for Elizabeth Guernsey, not Elizabeth Guernsey. Wow, that just named. Sorry,
Oh,
Yeah. Anastasia Richards.
Geraldine.
and slick.
Yeah, Anastasia Richards. Thank you, Anastasia Richards.
Geraldine, no,
If we're
too.
gonna,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I know. If we're gonna get Miss Richards out in the open, she's obviously on her toes, right? You know, she's on. I would imagine she would have her wits about her. So we need to, if we're going to plan this needs to be done in a way where she knows that there would be no, like, she would need to feel that we're not trying to set this trap, because any whiff of anything, just, she's gonna start running. Like, I imagine everybody else is, if she's one of the last Primogen, and they're pretty much being taken out one by one. What makes her think? I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we ran into her the way that we did. How do you think we're?
I mean, what if we use your boon to request a meeting with her and Wesley and Garter? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. The meeting of 2 of the Primogen to discuss the issues going on and the concerns, and maybe you have some information for them.
I mean, to get both of them together, that one is going to be tricky. To get 2 of them, they're going to be suspicious of all hell. Immediate. Oh, let me just get 2 Primogen that are being sought after currently, to put them in a room somewhere. Let's just, I just want to meet. No problems.
I don't know how boons work, but it's my understanding that they, for the most part, need to accept whatever's asked. It's a debt that's owed. Am I wrong?
You
We
have
can figure out
been on.
something.
Yeah, you have been on Alive longer than I have, so I just know
But I
that
don't mess with the
she was
fucking
very.
politics.
Yeah, I just know
I
that
look at you and I laugh.
yeah. I just know that she was really wanting to get those off of my hands. So, okay, we can at least get her. If that's who she wants, I'm not trying to give him. I know you're trying to get Wesley and Garter, but we need to at least get one step closer. I mean, besides information, I think we should get something else from Reynolds. Because this is a big risk that we're taking. Because obviously, the moment that all she has to do is just tell someone that she set up a meeting with us, and then all of a sudden she's killed, and then now we're implicated.
Oh, you're right, because we haven't been implicated in everything else that's been fuck all in the city.
Yeah, touche. Okay, yeah, man. I look at Andreas. Andreas, you good? Yes. Okay, good. Let's just go.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's Borat all of a sudden. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's still watching. Like he's making sure that whatever he's got on the brain is not coming out and jumping out at you guys.
So, do you like the idea of making at least an initial agreement of at least the spying? And if something's going to be, and we decide to take it a step further, we'll be in contact with him, and at least give an exchange of information in good faith.
I mean, if you think if that'll work, sure, I'm fine with it. But we can always just get it. I mean, look, once she's dead, these boons mean nothing. So,
which is why I'm saying to use the boons to your advantage.
Yeah. So let's fuck the spying and just say that we can in a show of good faith, if he provides us the more information, then we can not only just spy, we can actually set up an area where he can go ahead, a spot where he can go ahead and meet her, or she'll run into him. Let's just put it that way.
So I'll turn around and Mr. Reynolds.
He hops over back to your side of the street. Gentlemen, what is the
He
consensus?
heard everything, that fucker. He heard that fucker. That fucker heard everything.
We are in agreement to assist you in
Excellent.
the pursuit of Anastasia. Now the level, I believe, needs a little bit of more ironing out, so to speak.
Of course.
At minimum, we are in agreement to, given our access, get you that information that you're looking for on her ins and outs, things of that nature.
I appreciate that.
There is some trepidation among my friend here.
As well, it should be.
Granted, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
I feel if we had a mutual, at least a minimal exchange of information as a sign of good faith. Obviously, based on what you've said, there's levels in the information quality that you have. Obviously, the best left information is once her already cold, dead body is in your hands.
So, you want more information than what I've already given you personally, is what you're saying.
Well, a lot of that information, and I just look at like, a lot of that information you provided also implicates you a bit, which is not my place to say. I'm showing out of my respect to you and the relationship we've cultivated over this time. What I was meaning, for example, you said a name there. Still not the highest on my list, but the Tucker.
Oh. That young K Knight is more trouble than he's worth, I think.
So my just as a sign of good faith to again ease my compatriot. We're in agreement of at least the minimum of spying on Miss Anastasia and giving you all the information. We are leaning heavily towards the latter part of the agreement.
Oh.
But obviously, given the situation and complexity of Primogen,
Right.
and our abilities not as potent as yours, I will say, I will put it that way. we don't want to rush into making any kind of plan on exactly how to do that. I will share with you this, again, as a sign of good faith. We do have access to some boons from Miss Anastasia.
Oh. See. That I did not know.
I know you didn't know. And now you do know. So again, it's a sign of good faith in our mutual agreement.
I understand. Let me reward information with information then. Mr. Wright, were you under the impression that Tucker White and his pack have striking similarities to yours? Because that is not entirely coincidental. The bishop of the city has designed them to mimic yours as much as possible to undermine not only you and your validity, but also Otis's strength, given that he leans so heavily on your coterie.
So he made them look like us.
Mm-hmm. The senator, the biker, and the rebellious ex-cop.
I see. I guess imitation's the sincerest form of flattery in this case. I would love to personally, show my gratitude to these three.
Was the bishop aware that did they target my daughter?
No, that was entirely on Mr. White's, shall we say, lack of judgment. It did not help his standing with the bishop, but he has worked very tirelessly to make amends, as it were.
Will there be a problem from the bishop when I kill him?
Oh, Mr. Wright, given our working relationship, I can assure you that given his clan, if Tucker White is killed, he was not strong enough to continue the bloodline. And given that between you and I, his bloodline is making thin bloods, I don't see him going further unless he starts to diablerize his way down the ladder, as it were.
I'm gonna go out right out and say it. You wouldn't happen to know where we could, and all of this information that you have, Mr. Reynolds, you wouldn't happen to have an address or a location of this said mimic coterie?
For them, that would be much more of a payment on arrival, if that's one of the pieces of information you're looking for. It can be acquired. I don't have it on me right now. I have other addresses floating in my head that are too pertinent to upstanding citizens of the tower like you used to be, Mr. Wright.
Mind me. What's the best way for me to get a hold of you if we decide to take this to the next level?
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a business card. I have a ghoul of mine that I trust, the receptionist at this law firm. She'll get the information to me.
I'll grab the business card. It's got watermark.
You can let her know that you are giving her information about the Conflict Colorado brochure, the filing.
Fair enough. We'll start on it as soon as we can and start getting you information.
I appreciate that. He extends his hand out to you.
I shake it.
Sends it out to Erickson and to Andreas.
I'll shake it. Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
He stops as
Brujah,
he turns.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stops as he turns around and he turns back towards you guys. Since we're being so friendly with each other, if for some reason the Heritage Center off of 12th and Ferry Street was to find its way to Otis King's circle of influence, I think he might be open to rewarding that kind of information. He winks and turns and walks.
What was that Heritage? What?
The Heritage Center.
Heritage Street or Heritage Center on 12th Street?
12th and Ferry. Like a boat ferry, not like a Fay ferry.
12th and Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? I'm sorry. If it manages to become part of his circle of influence?
If it manages to land in Otis's circle of influence, he might reward that.
Good to know.
As an Otis might reward that.
Right.
Yeah, he goes down a couple of blocks and then turns the corner and vanishes into the night. Unless you guys want to follow him.
No.
Okay.
It did. Welcome.
I whisper really softly. Swift currency. Just as he goes off wherever he's going.
But you notice in following him down the streets, he's led you back to wherever you left your car.
Oh, so he knew where we were. That's great. He knows my car.
So I hop in the car.
Andreas pops in.
I'm too old for this shit. And I go and I open the door and I couldn't drive it off.
What time is it?
At this point, it's maybe 2:00 in the morning. 2:30, the latest.
Would we have time to go to Otis's or no?
I mean, the red eye is burnt. So where would you want to go to find him?
Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, this Heritage Center. I don't know. He brought it up for a reason. He brought it up for a reason. I mean, I would like to stop. I would like to go through the bus stop of where I would like to get that information from Mickey, but I don't know how far that is from the Heritage Center.
Different direction of the city, but not too far away.
If you want, we can go to the bus stop first.
Yeah.
Maybe eat up a half an hour to go to the bus stop first.
And on the drive over, I mention I've seen some shit.
I have seen some shit that will turn you white.
Yeah, Grant Reynolds started doing some fucking David Copperfield shit with blood. And I didn't want to say it in front of Thompson, but he did diablerize Beatrice Gravel.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got whatever power, hoodoo voodoo that he was doing to do so well.
I mean,
that is a
I
name.
imagine why he didn't.
That is a name that Erickson remembers.
Yeah.
You only dealt with her once or twice when you were looking for Andrew Givens, but she was one of the Tremere that was given sponsorship, kind of like adopted. What's her name? Gretel Meyer.
Willow?
No, Gretel Meyer.
But it's nobody like I've ran into her a couple times, but it's not
anybody that you've ever like had long interactions with. But the name's not like alien to you.
Right. Well, I mean, apparently Diablo Rising is the way to go.
Even I have my limits.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, you did bring Grant Reynolds to the party, so.
I thought of something a little crazy. Do you think meeting the bishop before the Elysium would be something that would benefit us to know what we're dealing with?
Oh, I would love to know who the bishop is.
Only reason I bring that up is doesn't Sasha Vikos owe us one?
All of us. That is very true.
I'm just putting all the cards out on the table.
I honestly don't think that Grant Reynolds knows that either. How could we get in touch with Sasha Vikos? Then I'm wondering, like, how do we get in? Do we have to start finding cats in the alleyway again, and then somehow go from that?
I mean,
you know where she is. You know where they are.
I'm just throwing it out there because we've obviously got a lot to plan, and we need to know everything that we have at our disposal right now.
I mean, you're good with that, Andres? Yes. Okay, good.
I mean, we should use the favor for something bigger, but
I agree.
beggars can't be choosers.
I'm just spitballing. I'm just throwing things out there.
Well, no, I mean, look, let's find these fuckers first that are apparently now imitating us, because now that even pisses me off even more. So,
does it piss you off more that they're imitating you, or that they have a Brujah that isn't imitating you, but they don't have like a Nosferatu and a Ravnos to imitate the rest of you? Like they got a Simitsi and a Gangrel as an equivalent.
Oh, they're just like, they're a pish posh mishmash of pseudo, like this B team that they're calling.
We have Melvin's coterie at home.
Yeah, we
They're
have
the
this
Temu version.
Yeah, the Fiverr version of Melvin's coterie.
Yeah, they bought this coterie on Wish.
On Temu.
On Temu. Honestly, whoever's sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I guess once we figure out what Anastasia's patterns are, then we can come up with a better idea on exactly how to set up some kind of trap with her.
I mean, like I said, I could easily just set up a meeting with her saying that I want to use the boons that I have currently in my possession, and that would be something I would have to do in person with her. I think the only real way to make it so that she feels that she is not going to be attacked would be in the one place she wouldn't think that we would have her, that she would be attacked in, which is the apartments. Which would involve us having to be there. Unless we wait.
How do we get Reynolds? How do we get Reynolds in there, though?
I mean, if he's doing the voodoo that he do so well, you do. I don't know how you guys did that, but if he's doing blood magic, I don't think it would be a far stretch for him to figure out a way to show up.
I don't know how that magic shit works, but maybe knowing where we're at, he could teleport into our apartment. I don't know if that's a thing because I just got teleported across town with him.
I
So
mean, do
You
we have a
didn't. You
mirror?
didn't teleport. He followed a trail.
oh, he followed a trail.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I thought I teleported.
No,
Okay.
no. Andreas and Erickson got teleported.
Yeah. Wait, when we got teleported, was it through a mirror or was it just
Nope.
through?
Yeah, it was through, no,
You
no.
stepped
When no,
out
but we
through
did
a
the mirror
mirror.
with the Nosferatu.
Yeah, you stepped out through a mirror, but there's no mirror where Thompson pulled you out of. There was just a
Okay.
rip in the air itself.
I mean, look, we could always leave. We could always after the bus stop here, we could go to the Heritage Center if you want. We can uh get in contact with Reynolds through his ghoul to find out if he is if we can set up a time of where we get her in this place. That if he can show up however he's going to do it, we don't need to know how he's going to do it. We don't even need to feel as though we can make it in a way where or we can treat it in a way that we don't even know Reynolds is being is going to be there. It just so happens he happens to show up there.
We can even do it the opposite way and tell her that we know where Reynolds is. What better way to get into Hyde's good graces than finding the person that's giving him so much of a headache?
There would be no need to use the boons then.
And maybe we use the boons for something else before we set that trap. Um, if she dies, well, he knew she was meeting Grant Reynolds. Who knows what would have happened over there? We're in the clear because she met with him. He overtook her. Nobody's the wiser.
Yeah, I mean, it would be easier to just lure her to the apartments on the the idea that I'm wanting to use the boons for something with regards to information, so that she doesn't even know Grant Reynolds, doesn't even have that idea of Grant Reynolds being there, so that when he does show, it is literally. Which, by the way, during that whole time, the gun that's tucked in the back of my shirt, that didn't. I didn't feel any sensation, no touch, nothing, no cold,
Nothing.
nothing.
Just remember, I understand your idea, but just remember, if it comes out, if she's told somebody that you are the one that led her there to talk about something, as opposed to you telling her, I found out where Grant Reynolds is going to be, those are two very different stories. One, you've told her where the psychopath who is murdering other kindred is going to be. And if she happens to die, well, she fell at the hands of somebody that's killed a lot other people. Versus if she tells somebody, "Oh, I'm meeting with Erickson Wood to discuss some things," and then she dies, that comes on you.
Well, I mean, I used to be a state senator, but I think in either
Oh, I
case,
didn't know that. You
what
never
you said,
mentioned that.
yeah,
Never
in either
mentioned it
case,
before.
I think I would still be implicated regardless. Oh, this is the guy that told me about Grant Reynolds. Oh, look, I went there and I died by Grant Reynolds. I wonder why.
Yes, because of Grant Reynolds. She died because she went to go after Grant Reynolds and he overpowered her. Versus, oh, I went to go get cash in a boon from somebody and ended up dead. Both of those look
Alright,
very differently.
okay.
Do be facts.
And when the game master agrees with you, that's usually
I'm
a
just
good
saying.
sign.
You're saying factual statements.
Correct.
All right. All right.
And again, we
Well,
don't have to come up with this decision now. To be honest
yeah.
with you, I'd prefer to have all three of us on here to talk this
What do you
out as
mean? He's
opposed
right
to a
here.
lunatic.
Yeah, he's in the back
I
seat.
What do
mean,
you
yeah.
mean?
Sorry,
He's right
sorry.
here.
Snot bubble.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. He got a ray of enfeeblement, right? Well,
Yeah. Don't touch the water.
don't touch the water.
Are we at the bus stop?
Oh,
I
you've
wanna
already
grab-
picked that up. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
You're already on the way.
But sifting through that, was there any information?
It's a thick file folder. So you'd have to like spend at least an hour kind of combing through it to see what's there and what's not there.
Would I be able to skim through some of the information at least?
Yeah. And when I have a better understanding of what you were looking for, I'll make sure that you have that information.
Well, it's because of the fact that the reason why the folder is so thick is because I've asked him so many different things.
Yeah, and I've got to go up and look for all those things that you've asked for and then write them down.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Understood. We'll wait.
Because I may have noted down what you were answered, but did nobody ever dealt with him until now? So now I've got to scour the notes. Yeah, I got to sift.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thick folder. I remember that you've kept asking things of him, and just until now is the big payoff. So
yeah. So all of a sudden, all the information we needed is sitting in this goddamn folder.
There might be some information that's useful. There might just be things that you already have found out.
True. All right, but yeah. So as far as the Heritage Center,
yeah, there's a big circular kind of fountain in front of the Heritage Center. The big kind of circular driveway on either side of the Heritage Center having like parking lots. One parking lot is bigger than the other. Obviously, for one of them is for employees, and the other one's for guests and whatnot. But as you're pulling up, could both of you give me wits and awareness rolls?
oh, we're rolling.
You rolling? Sometimes you gotta roll dice in this game, you know. If you don't want to, I can just accept the failure.
I mean, I have 3 10s, a 6, a 4, and a 3.
3 10s?
10 on the hunger.
Oh.
3 10s.
3 10s. Okay. One of the 10s on the
10.
hunger?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All of a sudden, you're like, what do I see?
Oh, I drive into the
hunger. Yeah, 2 in the hunger, 3, 4, but then a 10, a 9, and a 7.
Okay. It is not difficult for both of you, and given that it's a perception test, I'm not gonna have you just like lash out violently in some way, shape, or form.
My eyes just 3 times the size.
He goes Looney Tunes style.
But both of you have enough successes to notice that as you're pulling up, there is a very animated gentleman that looks to be contentiously arguing with somebody else in the lobby. And the moment that they clock that there's a car pulling up, they immediately kind of push whoever they're talking to out and into the actual building itself proper. But as both of you kind of think about who that was, Erickson, because you scored so many more successes, you recognize them as I'll tell you right now, that was Antoine Malcolm Davies.
Why is Antoine Malcolm Davies here?
Learning about his heritage, bro.
Obviously.
Yeah. Obviously. Sheesh.
Come on. A British guy learning about American heritage? Obviously.
I recognize him, but not the other person he's yelling.
No.
Is he the one being animated, or
he
was
is
the
the
other
animated
person?
one? He is miffed about something, and the moment that he clocks the car, it is almost like he looks like he's trying to. It is like a high school boy who suddenly sees their parents entering from the front door and is out in the backyard and is trying to hide whoever they were making out with. Like that kind of same frantic energy, like they're trying to hide something, someone.
Okay. Well, apparently they weren't expecting anyone. I Melvin, I close my eyes.
Andreas doesn't.
I move in
Andreas
for
doesn't.
this. Oh wait, what happened?
Yeah. Wrong game. Wrong
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Wrong game. No. Well, I'll whatever. I'm just gonna step out of the car.
As you're driving,
If you stay back in the car.
You don't even like park
Well,
the car?
I mean, when you
Again, I crash.
yeah.
I crash and I die.
Boom.
That's it. No, you know what?
Yeah.
Hit the gas. We're going right into this Heritage Center. Fuck this.
Because you were still driving when you noticed the situation.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll pull in.
Okay.
At this point, they already know we're coming, so I'm just gonna pull in.
Yep. All right. Andreas hangs back and lets you know that he's gonna go around back.
Put my hat on and I go, let's learn about heritage.
Yeah, you can learn about the Oregon Trail in dysentery.
Everybody's
And
dying.
dysentery.
Yeah.
But
you go up to the front doors and the front doors are locked.
That's okay. I'm gonna open it.
Oh. Are you calling on your prowess, or are you just gonna try to force it open with a regular strength?
You're just gonna rip it open?
I mean, I'm not trying to rip it open. I just want to, when you pull it hard enough that the actual lock,
Mm-hmm.
Right. But are you using your vampiric strength for this, or are you just using your regular strength?
Yeah, why not? Let's use prowess.
Okay, so you're gonna need to rouse for that.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. So you're gonna roll your strength of 3 plus your athletics of 2 plus your potence of 3. So that's 8 dice.
I'm not trying to demolish the door. I just want to be able.
And why are you using the prowess?
You use potence.
You use your potence. If you don't want to demolish the door,
8 dice.
Oh,
6 regular. No, you're fine. We're good.
No, you did it. You did it already.
We're in the end game now.
Yeah. This is why.
So you're gonna use 6 regular dice, 2 hunger dice.
As he's doing that, Will, before like me not realizing what he's doing, I bend down to try to pick the lock. He's trying to do it.
I'm at 2 hunger.
Okay. Yeah, I got you at 2 hunger.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you see him pulling on the thing, and you hear that kind of resistance of that thunk of the lock engaged. And you're like, oh, easy, I can do this. So you don't even get to see him like tense up to see the blood circulating through his body as he wills it into a manifestation of prowess. How many successes did you get, big boy?
Luckily, none of these 10s were on the hunger dice.
Oh, but there's 10s.
Lord have mercy.
But there's 10s.
Excellent.
Yeah.
There was an attack at the Heritage Center yesterday.
There's 4 10s and the rest are under 5.
Oh my god.
We're gonna be on the news for a hate crime that didn't happen.
So 8 successes is enough to rip the door off its hinges and send it flying into the fountain itself. You did say that you were trying not to be destructive.
Yeah.
So with 8 successes, you have enough to control yourself. And just the moment that Melvin bends down and pulls the pick out of his little kit, the door crunches open. It'll never close properly again. It'll have to be replaced, but you don't send it flying into the fountain.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I look up. I go, really?
Oh, I mean,
Really?
you took so long. You took long. Really, a pick? Scream! just so.
Yep. But
After you.
it smells of that museum cleanliness. There's a lot of order in the room. And as you go down in the direction that you saw Davies kind of slink off to, you see that there's a wing devoted to the first pioneers and the gold rush and everything that kind of happened out west in 1849 and beyond. He just looks over. Oh, look at this. Funny finding you here.
I could say the same for you.
Oh, this is interesting history the Americans have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know your
Yeah,
door is broken?
Oh, I did not. I'll make sure that I leave a word with security when I leave.
You gotta be careful. You can't. There's hooligans about.
I heard
man.
that there were hooligans about
Yeah. So,
Sabbat and all that. Frightening.
I've heard about that too. That's kind of why we thought it was a little suspicious. Who else are you here with?
No one?
Come on. We just drove up. You don't have to lie to us. I mean, you saw us. We saw you and whoever that was.
I mean, it's no one. It's part of my herd. I'm not gonna divulge that to you.
Hmm. Oh, well, what is it that you're doing here exactly besides obviously taking in the history?
Well, I was feeding before you shut up.
So,
So
so you're
is this yours?
No.
You just like to feed here.
I've been granted access to feed here, yes.
and does your feeding involve yelling at this herd of yours? Because that's pretty much what we saw.
Oh, I apologize for that. I'm very protective of my herd given everything that's going on in the city, what with hooligans about.
Yep. They break doors.
Mhm. Yeah, they break doors.
Apparently.
What? I start looking around, and it's like, where's the section from 1776? You remember that? And I just,
What an asshole. Uh and he looks
you
at you.
USA, USA,
USA.
America.
Merc.
America.
Get wrecked, teetotaler. But he gives you a
I
look.
ain't paying taxes on tea, bitch.
No. I it's
I don't say that. I don't
oh
say that.
I
That's not Melvin. And
I was about to be like, that's where Melvin's at right now.
that's some fucked up shit right there. Melvin said.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he looks around and he's just like, what brings you and your group out here, Mr. Wright? Word on the street is that your allegiance to the other side of the river.
Well, I was told this is a nice place, and I'd actually never been here,
Who told
so
you?
we decided to come by and check it out.
Your
People
mom.
talk. People say things,
Oh,
and it's
I didn't.
fortunate we got to see you here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't think that you would be so friendly with people that talk.
Wait, we're not friendly?
Oh,
Have I never not been friendly with people who talk?
no, I'm not saying that, Mr. Wright. I'm just saying that given your proclivity for involving yourself with people on the other side of the river, that you wouldn't be listening to the talk that happens on this side of the Willamette.
You would know by now that my clan likes to hear everybody talk. Information is power. I mean, you are here at a Heritage Center learning of history.
I am.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Those that don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
They are.
I mean, you said that you're herd. You frequent here, and you said that you have granted access. So, who granted you access to here?
The prince of the city, of course. He's the only one that can grant domain.
I see.
Ah, this is a new, would we have known that that's his domain already or no?
No.
Okay, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so my apologies. I didn't realize we had intruded in your domain.
It's fine. Given your current association, it's not uncommon for you to not know where the domain lines are being drawn anymore.
But try to be as respectful as possible, no matter where the allegiances lie.
We must uphold the traditions, after all.
I agree.
I really quick out of character. Person that we're speaking with was the former owner of a location that now is being taken over by Manny Garza.
Is it? Yes, it is. Antoine Malcolm Davies.
Yeah. Mr. Davies, I mean, I imagine were you given this domain because you lost your previous ownership of, or that the club?
Nah.
You see him.
You see me go in the background.
I mean, I can
Shit.
Yeah, you see
I
him.
mean,
You see him purse his lips as you bring that up, and he's like, I doubt that has anything to do with it, but it was an unfortunate turn of events that led me to lose my jazz club.
yeah, I mean, and of all people, I mean, I can understand the deep-seated ire you could possibly have. The fact that it's just not only that you have lost the jazz club, but now it's what is it called? Sangria, sangria.
Yes.
Yes. And now it's actually owned by oh, what's that? What's that funny man's name? Oh, Garza. Yes.
And there are some who find him funny,
I
sure.
just, I just, I just like I want to see him squirm a little bit, just because I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a little on the nose for me, calling a place blood mixture, but that's what you get when you let a low clan frivol about.
I look over at Melvin.
I mean, you're both low
What is it?
clans.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that's
I know. So
out of character. That's an offensive way of him saying that.
yeah,
I'm asking Will because like
Yeah.
the fact that it says low clan.
Yeah, in the Dark Ages, the Nosferatu and the Brujah fell from high clan status to low clan status after their rage took the better of them. Because when they were warrior poets, they were considered high clan.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
the low clan is a dig.
okay. So I kind of look around and I just when he says that I just walk over to one of the pieces. I just look at him like, so what does that say about the person who lost everything they own to a low clan? Makes them lower to me. And I don't even make eye contact when I say that.
Mhm. It's a turn of events that I was not prepared for, unfortunately. But
the
I
part that
have
I'm
friends
All
in
them
high
are.
places.
I mean, yes, because you were given this domain by the prince, as you said.
Correct.
So he thinks of you pretty highly then to give you such.
Well, he rewards the faithful.
Then why?
Not the ones who jump ship.
I'm just a little curious. Just how did you lose the club? Did
Probably
the
like
French
how
just
they
say,
probably like his countrymen lost the war in 1776. Now I say it.
ah?
Now I say it. You're kind of used to losing a lot, aren't they?
Well,
India.
considering that the
Uh,
world was once under an entire empire,
once,
people
not
are
anymore.
allowed to lose ground if it benefits the end game.
Hold up. As he's talking, as we're having this conversation, we're just in one spot of the Heritage Center, right?
One of the wings.
One of the wings. Has anybody passed in and out?
No.
So no, nobody's passed in and out that we can tell. Anyway.
No. You haven't heard security walking around or anything.
And as we're talking and we're, ruffling his feathers, so to speak, I imagine there's no cameras here either.
Well, you don't know, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm looking around, like, considering
I don't want to do anything. I'm going to tell you out of character. I don't want to do anything. I want to let Otis know what was told to us by an anonymous source. Because if we do something as opposed to just tell him, it may ruin some of the benefit we would have gotten by just telling him about it. You get what I'm saying? That's out of character, though. I can't stop you.
There is a camera, but it's over by the door, and the angle that it picks up, you're pretty much outside of it.
Will's just like, I'm gonna give him every opportunity that he could try to kill this guy. There's no camera. There's nobody here. It's only one person.
I look at a pretend watch on my hand, and I go, well, this has been pleasant.
Yes.
Hey, Erickson, let's go get a drink on me at Sangria. And I turn around and I walk away.
Tell whoever the herd is that, it was a pleasure seeing them for like a second, I guess.
I'm gone. I'm out the door.
Yeah.
I'm out the door.
No, I'm still in there.
Yeah.
And I'm still, you left me alone in here. Did Andreas go with him too?
I mean, Andreas is still out back as far as you know.
Oh, that's
he's
true.
dreaming of fucking werewolves out back.
Yeah. I wish you a good night, and hope to see you soon.
Take care of yourself, Mr. Wood.
USA, outside. You see me just
so stupid. Yeah. I am. Hold. Let me roll. I'm just gonna roll something real quick.
Yeah, do it. Go nuts.
Go roll.
Roll.
I'm gonna roll to close the door.
I'm gonna roll. Close the door.
Yeah, the fucking Kenny Rogers song. Just close.
He fixes it with like.
I use prowess just to smash the doors, to merge the doors together.
Yeah. I'll fix it for you. Look.
I'll fix it for you. No, I'll step out. That's fine.
Use it with your anger.
Yeah, I'll step out.
God, I wanted to kill this guy so bad. I wanted to kill
him. No, I was gonna kill him. Yeah, I started asking questions, and then.
No, but I think we gotta play this smart. You gotta play it smart.
Where is smart gotten us? I just want to know. We haven't
tried smart up to this point.
Okay. True that.
You guys,
I'm trying to think outside the box. This is like the end game, dude. I'm trying to think outside the box here.
You get out there, you see Melvin by the car, and once you get to the car, you'll see that Andreas has already made his way around the building as well.
Yeah, anything?
A couple people out back smoking.
It's just very odd that he's just here by himself.
No, there's obviously more.
Yeah.
But as much as I wanted to wring that guy's throat, we should let Otis know what the anonymous source relayed
Mhm.
to us about this place, because it might the benefit might weigh more than us getting to kill that guy and the satisfaction of it.
If
But
you
it's
say
interesting
so.
that the domains have been moved around.
You know, I think
You
we
only
should
broke
hit.
one thing. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I think we should. I think we should actually go to the sangria. Pains me to say that.
Okay.
Because how else are we gonna get to? Oh, actually, no. I know Otis's. I know his storage facility, so we can actually go to the storage facility there.
Yep. Go to Gunther's.
Yeah, go to Gunther's.
It's a lot closer than going to the Red Eye.
No, well, it's not the Red Eye anymore. It's sangria now.
No, the horn section was where
Oh, the
Sangria
horn
is.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get to Gunther's. It's about 3:15. But the gentleman at the counter kind of looks up at you, and a door opens that you recognize as both of you will recognize as leading to the upstairs area of the office building. And Manny will step out. Hey, look at this! He's my favorite failed senator, and Melvin.
Manny
And Melvin.
I'm
and
Melvin.
Melvin.
Like a TV show, right? It happened. Just gotta write it
Yeah.
down.
Oh, by the way, congratulations on sangria.
Oh, thank you, man. It's gonna be very, very hot. Very bouncing place, you know. Get some ladies in there, do a little teka teka teka.
Yeah, tiki taki. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
The
Get some class.
the ex proprietor is not all too thrilled about this, which makes me have so much more joy.
Good, good. The guy was kind of an asshole.
No, he's not kind to anything. He is an asshole.
Yeah, not wrong.
I mean, how did you pull this off?
Oh, I mean, you know, I have money. You can't be in Odyssey's circle and not learn a thing or two, man. I have resources. I have
Speaking,
places.
speaking of Otis, we've got some new information that I think might be very intriguing to him.
Okay, come on up.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Garza.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you.
And he takes you up into the office. You can see Dimitri in the corner, playing with his raccoon. The second desk is still empty. Colson's not back yet, but you see Otis look up, finish the paperwork that he's on. He closes the file folder. He stands up. Gentlemen, wasn't expecting you tonight. Everything okay?
Yeah, got some news for you.
Okay.
Got some information that I
He
think
motions to the couch. Is this a sitting situation or is this a standing situation?
Oh, it
it's not
depends how
that.
fast you want to move.
Yeah, touche. What he said. That was good. Um, we've got some new information that seems like it might be beneficial to you, and you may see as to maybe gift someone who gave you this information. But um, it seems like the prince is restructuring all the domains across the river.
Oh,
Um,
it is new.
one area in particular might be of interest to you. Um, the Heritage Center on 12th
And Fairy.
and Ferry,
The
like
Heritage
the boat,
Center.
not the
Right,
flying wing creature.
right. And he goes over to the bookshelf with the records. What's the Heritage Center?
What was it? What was it again? The name again? And
The Heritage
the
Center?
guy? No, It was
Oh,
sorry, I'm having a
Malcolm
brain.
Davies.
It's been a long work day.
Oh, Antoine
Yeah,
Malcolm
it was
Davies.
Malcolm, thank you. Antoine Malcolm Davies is at that center
Hmm.
with apparently his herd.
With
He's
his
the new
herd.
proprietor of that domain.
Huh. You see him slide his finger until he hits an album and he pulls it out. Interesting. The Heritage Center. And you see him look at the empty desk. And then he looks back at you. Pulls out a record. Lets it start playing. It's the sleeve on top of the cover of the case of the record player. And he goes over. You said this was on 12th and Ferry?
Yeah.
And you see him write it down.
Yeah.
But if you would like to try to figure out what album is playing, you could try to roll either intelligence and performance, wits and performance, or intelligence and academics, wits and academics. I'll let you
I'm gonna
choose.
do wits.
Horrible. Well, I was hoping
performance.
it's Thelonious Monk, but I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's a. I don't
It
think
is
he's a
not.
monk kind of guy.
It is not Thelonious Monk. But he is a monk
All right.
guy.
I got 2 6s.
Okay.
Yeah. A 7 and 2 5s. So I got 1 success.
Okay. So Erickson will know that it's jazz. Some kind of bluesy album. Melvin will recognize it as John Coltrane, but you won't pin down the album name itself.
Coltrane. Nice.
Thought it fitting.
What's the name of this? What's the name of this tune?
The album's Stardust.
Hmm.
One of my favorites. For this kind of situation.
What kind of situation you think this is?
This feels like a winning hand kind of situation.
If this involves a bull in a china shop, please.
No, I think this is going to require surgical precision.
Put my hands up. I'm like, so that's not my forte at all.
It is not. And I'm proud of you for recognizing that. And Manny from the couch gives you finger guns.
I'm not even gonna look at him. I'm not even gonna look at him. Just like, well, we found this. We got a hold of this information and wanted to see it for ourselves to make sure it's true. So, just wanted to. I believe you would be the right person to get this information.
Sure. I'll put somebody on it. Anything else, or is this everything?
There's moves happening.
Okay.
I can't go into the detail on exactly what, but what I can tell you, or when, because I don't even know that. But I can tell you that you need to start preparing.
Well, I've made it clear to Miss Larson that I'm going to be at the New Year's Eve Elysium. I'd better start preparing too.
There's probably going to be some more guests there.
Yeah. Besides Hyde.
I figured.
I've always been straight up with you, Otis.
And I with you.
You know where I stand with you. I know it's not going to escape your ear because Coulson was there.
Mm.
But I did meet with Grant Reynolds. But I've already have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm. I assume this is how you find out about the Heritage Center?
Yes.
I don't have to tell you that this might be him trying to pin you against somebody for his benefit.
I mean, the tower's
we
already got a target on my head.
One
Tower doesn't
tower.
already. Yeah.
But I'm here being, I've come here and been honest with you about it. But like I said, there's moves happening. You already know my intentions. I want Wesley Ian Garter.
I know.
I will get Wesley Ian Garter.
I had somebody come by that told me they were friends of yours. What do you know about Eleanor Fulton?
It's looking the book. I don't
No, I'm
think
trying
you.
to. I think that's one of the. I don't know.
Eleanor
That wasn't
Fulton.
one of the names you gave me.
I don't have that on my
Wait,
list
isn't?
here either.
Wait, hold on. Isn't Eleanor the one we're not supposed to talk to? That's his, or no? It was Gertrude.
That's a good treat.
Okay, I don't remember Eleanor.
Yeah.
You
I
came
mean,
across
I'm trying.
Eleanor after you fought off that thing that you both shot in the face at the same time.
Oh, Eleanor was the girl inside the fucking lab.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one that knows
Like,
Andre. Well, then we look at Andreas.
yeah.
Just
He shrugs.
Um, he knows. I've just met her for the first time recently.
same here.
She came and introduced herself. So I
He's
thought,
not all there.
oh, I got that from her clan.
Yeah.
But she wasn't alone. And you see him sit down on the edge of his desk. What can you tell me about Marcus Bradley?
That's a name that I remember.
Yeah, but I told you already that there's 50 million names that I've forgotten in the last 3 years of the details.
This is this is the guy that owns the Albatross.
Yeah.
Owns it. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
He's a thin blood.
owns the opera. Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
like yeah. He's one of the those thin bloods that's hanging around, that's been around the city.
Yep.
Owns the Albatross, if I remember correctly.
Yep. He's on there for a while. Never really had dealings with him.
The hell were they doing together?
He brought her.
Well, why did he come to you then?
For the same thing that she came for. Find safe landing when the Praxis War is over.
I see. So kind of like choosing the winning side type of deals is what it's sounding like.
Do you really want to deal with all the thin bloods that are running around the city?
I don't. Especially if one of them is your daughter, like you told me. Because you're going to have to come to a hard decision.
But don't I, as of now, out of character, don't I, right now, I don't, I thought she's dead. Didn't I think she was dead at this? Didn't somebody tell me she was dead
Nobody's
at this
told you that.
point?
No.
Oh, I thought she was, I'm like,
No.
No, you would have. This would have been a different Melvin.
It's already a different Melvin. What's happened to my granddaughter?
No,
Yeah.
what I mean is that at this point you would just be. Yeah, you would be even more. Yeah, you would be the next Grant Reynolds. Let's just put it that way.
Unless anything's changed, I tried, and she was even more for me to handle. I was never a good father. I was never around. I was this. I didn't know what to do with her.
There's a difference between being a bad father and having to make a decision. There's only two roads for a thin blood that doesn't involve them accepting who they are. Death is the kindness. Diablerie is the alternative. If she takes someone into her, she could rid herself of the thin blood curse. But then she's what we are.
She was barely able to handle being a thin blood.
It's a lot. They're completely different than what we are.
What did you decide?
I wanted to touch base with people that have dealt with Marcus before. So I called up Samantha, talked to John, asked him to ask around. What do you know about Beatrice Gravel?
Why are we on? I feel like we're on trial here. Like we're just.
Truth? Don't think she's around anymore.
John called, tried to get in contact with her.
No answer.
Did he specifically tell me? Well,
Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He specifically told me.
Yeah.
Let's just say now Mr. Reynolds has some new tricks up his sleeve.
Mm-hmm. He is not the kind of man I want having blood sorcery.
Yeah, he was doing some David Copperfield shit. That's the only magician I know that, or I could say because Houdini was an escape artist, so I would just still go with Copperfield.
Yeah.
And there's no angel at this point.
Yeah. Give me a lot to think about, Melvin.
Like I've told you, I know what side I'm standing on for this war.
I understand.
And it may not all be pretty the information I give you, but I'm going to give you what I can.
It's going to be rough.
I'm hoping if we play this right, we can kill two birds with one stone. But like you said, it's got to be surgical.
He looks at Erickson.
Oh.
Can you be surgical?
You mean, can I be not myself? I could try that. I mean, full disclosure, I guess we're all being truthful here. I could have. There could have been a fallen K-Knight tonight, but we decided to come to you first to give you this information.
He looks at you for a moment. Interesting.
Interesting how? That's it. I'm actually doing. I'm like,
oh, I just made a note.
Yeah. Antoine Malcolm Davies was definitely not trying to be civil.
Of course not.
kind of glad that asshole doesn't have his club anymore. And then I point over at Manny Garza finger gun. I don't look at him,
Yeah.
but I give him a finger gun.
Yeah, you just hear, "Hey." He looks at you both for a moment. He's like, I'm glad you didn't attack Davies then. If that's what you're saying. If I'm reading between the lines.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I mean if you want me to be blunt about it, yeah, I could have died at my hands, but I wasn't going to do that.
I don't know if it would have been an easy task for you, but I will warn you that he has ties to people that are dangerous. It hasn't been confirmed, but John Coulson has it on good authority that he is part of a nodist group.
Nodist group?
A cult, really. People that believe that there is a thing called the Book of Nod. That is the writings that Cain set down for us to follow.
Yeah. That's now it's starting to
yeah, there is a cult.
Gears gears are turning in my head. We know about this.
Yeah, there's a cult in the city that follows that.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with them.
I did not want that to be a thing.
Since we're all
neither did the 30-06 that I took through the chest from one of them. But I'm still here.
Keep your noses down.
Go ahead, you were gonna say something, Kenny.
Oh yeah, I was like, since we're being candid here, what exactly are you gonna do about this Heritage Center?
I'll send Manny and Dimitri. See what they can find out for me.
And I look over at Manny. I'm like, Manny, by the way, you haven't gotten back to me yet about what happened to my sire.
I'm still looking, bro. It's not. I don't have magic fingers like Coulson. I can't just like make information appear.
Otis, one last question for you.
The only reason why you're still alive. No, I'm kidding.
Anastasia Richards.
Yeah.
What do you know about her? What's something she holds extremely dear to herself, or something that she even in this unlife grasps onto?
As far as I know, nothing anymore. She hasn't been the same since she lost her childer. She was one of the few people that helped me when I wanted to go toe to toe with Hyde the first time back in '81. She was one of the few people that helped me get back on my feet when dust settled. She's the one that helped me find out who betrayed me. She's all about the clan.
No matter the cost.
No matter the cost.
Can I ask you a candid question?
Sure.
If she stood in between you and Hyde,
She wouldn't.
how do you know?
I know her. She helped me once.
So she's not the person that I think she is. When I spoke to her, she gave me the vibe of somebody who was following Hyde, no questions asked.
That's the Ventrue way.
Yet you still think that she wouldn't stand in your way if you were headed to kill Hyde.
Correct. What a Ventrue shows non-Ventrue is completely different than what they would show a Ventrue. If she were to stand between me and Hyde, it would mean that she no longer believes that I am fit for princeship. Which, to me, would let me know that I am not fit for prince. Either way, Melvin, Hyde is going down. And if I have to take her out to do it, I will.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
Fair enough. Okay.
Well, thank you for meeting with us. I know
Yeah.
this was again unplanned.
Thank you for the information you've brought me.
If you
Hopefully,
keep your
yeah.
ear to the your nose to the grindstone, if you hear something, we would appreciate it.
Likewise.
Any reciprocation. I don't do it with the intention of getting anything in return. Again, I want to see the right side win.
He turns around and goes around to his back to the side of his desk and he sits down. I will let you know this then. If it'll give you some solace going forward. And he slides 2 pieces of paper to you. And right before he lets his hands up, he looks at you. I'm not going to make you choose like some people did. You're going to have both of them.
Grab the papers, and I go like I like this from here.
One of them is a message that looks to be a photocopy of a what's it called? Not Morse code, but a telegraph.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It just says, London has fallen. Inquisition prevailed. The gangrel is safe.
I kind of like take a step back. Kind of like, like I kind of like, even though I don't breathe, but
Mm-hmm.
I like simulate a breath.
Yeah.
And I look up at Otis. And I look at the other paper.
The other paper is a caricature. It's typical boardwalk artist fair, but it's really easy to tell the two people that have been drawn there for you. One of them is Tulip. The other one is Teddy.
I look at it. I'm like, I kind of smile when I see Tulip and Teddy together, but I'm like, what? I'm confused. Why would I have to choose?
I just know that some people aren't free with the information they give you. I wanted you to know that I'm different.
I understand now. And I grab the papers, I fold them up, and I walk up to him. And I shake my hand to him and I go, know that you have my loyalty till the end.
Appreciate it. Have a good, safe rest of your night, gentlemen.
You as well, Otis.
And right before you get to the door, you see it open, and John Coulson comes in. Oh, wow. This is twice in one night. Fortunate.
Good to see you, Mr. Coulson.
You
Hello
well.
again.
You see him step by you and go over to his desk, and right before he sits down, Otis clears his throat and just puts the paper down where he wrote about the Heritage Center. Have Manny and Dimitri check this out tomorrow, but if you could do your thing tonight, that would be fantastic. And he stops himself from sitting down, just catches himself. He's like, of course, Otis. Let me get to work. And Manny gets up and starts ushering you out of the room. All right.
Yeah.
No sightseeing. Costs money, okay?
Right.
This isn't a free show.
Right before he says that, like when Otis tells him that, I go, Mr. Coulson, he's aware of where that information came from. I don't lie to Otis.
He nods.
And I nod to, and I just kind of do like that meme with the guy in the bear thing. And I walk out.
All right. And as you leave the Gunther storage area, I think that unless there are any pressing issues that your coterie wants to take care of, we can jump to Monday, December the 15th for the next episode. So this is where we're going to come to a close tonight, boys. I want to thank you guys for participating in the story as always. It has been a hell of a ride. I hope I threw some curveballs at you.
A little bit.
Yes.
Hope you
a little bit.
You're prepared your gooches for the New Year's Eve event as we're getting closer and closer to the Elysium.
I'm going to prepare my gooch with that XP that you gave me.
Yeah. And I want to thank you, the audience. We wouldn't be here without you guys. We appreciate your love and support. As always, I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're doing. So we'll start with you, Kenny. What are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Well, you can find me on my personal social media, Mr. _ with the underscore in between each word. You can also find me on TikTok doing random shit for for Crit or Die. Bears Love Gaming.
Woo.
It's under Crit or Die. I am posting semi-regularly now, and hoping that I can get more time. Probably be after I get married in November, because that's what's happening.
It's creeping up.
It's coming up. It is literally creeping up. It's and I am now stressed out about it, and I will stop talking. So yes.
Perfect. And let's let Jeff, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
I don't really have much going on right now. I'm been working, and a lot of work is taking up most of my time, so I'm not really doing anything aside from this wonderful show at the moment. Hopefully, once things die down, I'll be able to delve back into some more podcasting and things like that. But right now, just waiting for Jerkface's wedding. Is
Yeah,
the only
right.
other thing
Fucking
coming
this
up.
fucking
Jerk
guy.
face.
You're
You're a
Jerkface.
jerk face. But as always, thank you guys for allowing me to take you on this journey. I don't know where the story would be without you guys, and vice versa. So I hope that you're having a good time. As always, please know that it is okay to not be okay. So if you are a friend or family member of somebody that is, if you feel is going through some stuff, or you yourself are going through some stuff and you're watching live, there's some phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat right now that'll take you to people who want to help you. You can text or call. You can talk to somebody. If you are trepidatious about phone calls or text messages, there's a link going up as well that'll also take you to some resources outside of the United States if you're not in the United States. I'm not sure if we have any outside viewers. I think we might have a handful, but just know that there are resources for you guys as well. So just know that there are people out there who want to help you and that the help is available. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. As always, Mondays are for Vampire the Masquerade here on the channel. Tuesdays are normally for Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings. Because of Halloween, we will not be rolling dice to observe the holiday. Just because it's going to be a lot of fun to be a kid again for once. Thursdays from now on are going to be shared with 7th Sea and Old Gods of Appalachia. Our first episode is this Thursday. We're going to get to meet the first of the cast of 4, our protector, who, if I could give you a hint of what they are a curious protector who does what needs doing. And if you know anything about the system, you can pick out the descriptor, the type, and the focus, which creates the character as a whole for the Cypher system. Having run a miniseries at McStabber Studios, which I highly recommend you go check out, it has been one of the more fun systems, and I've easily put it in my top 5 systems to run. So I highly recommend you do that. But Thursdays are now going to be shared between Old Gods of Appalachia and 7th Sea, where you might get to see our rambunctious bull in the China shop playing, what a surprise, a bull in the China shop. But otherwise, you can catch me at McStabber Studios on Wednesdays as I'm a player in the Dark Ages of Vampire the Masquerade storyline that they have going on over there, where I get to play a lovable scamp of a Lasombra who has done nothing wrong in his entire life. I can guarantee you that. So, as always, thank you guys for everything. Please take care of yourselves. Have a good night, and we will see you when we see you. Bye.